Hello everyone, Michael back with another video. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to connect your Excel to your SharePoint list with Power Query, and then I'll show some additional features like auto refresh. So if you're interested in Power Platform videos, feel free to subscribe because I'm putting out more videos in those areas. And now for my intro. All right, so I want to connect this SharePoint list to my Excel file. I'll go ahead and open up my Excel. Okay, so in my Excel file, I want to go ahead and click on the Data tab at the top left, and then click on Get Data. So we can actually connect to multiple different data sources in Excel to be able to pull data from. So my source is going to be a SharePoint list, and I assume since you clicked on this video, that's likely going to be your data source as well. So I will go ahead and click on From Other Sources, and then I want to click on From SharePoint List. So it will ask me for the site URL. So I will go ahead and navigate to my SharePoint. So in my SharePoint, I want to look at the URL at the top and then just copy everything up until sites backslash, and then it should be your SharePoint site name. So you want to copy all that. You don't need all this extra stuff. And then I will paste it just like that. So my SharePoint site is called marketing, so that's what I copied up until. And then you can probably leave the backslash there as well. So I'll click on OK. And then it will allow me to see all of the SharePoint list in my site. So the list that I want to work with is the employee list. So I will go ahead and click on that. And then as you can see, it brings in a lot of the columns. So we have a couple options at the bottom. We can either load this as is, or we can click on transform data. So since it does have a lot of extra columns that I don't really care about, I'm going to click on transform data. And I recommend you do this as well because you really don't need to see half the columns that it allows you to pull. So now we're in Power Query, and I can see on the left-hand side that I have my employee list. I'm going to go ahead and remove the columns that I don't want. And to do that, you can either use the remove columns at the top, but I'll go ahead and scroll through and manually do this myself because I want to see what columns are available and show you guys what columns that you should probably not use. So this file system object I don't need. Anything that isn't in your SharePoint list and you aren't familiar with, you probably don't need, like this OData color tag, client's asset ID. The title is my title field from SharePoint, so that is good. I have first name, last name, favorite sport, status. Then we have an ID.1. I don't need that as well because we already have an ID field. I'll keep the modified and created fields, and then I'll just remove everything else. I'll probably keep the attachments. GUID I'll keep just in case, but SharePoint sites come with an ID, so that should always be unique. And then I'll just remove all this other stuff over here because I won't need it. You might need some of these columns, and if you do, don't remove them, but I don't need these columns, so I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight everything again. You wanna hold down Control and then just click on the column headers, left click. So I will go ahead and remove these columns, and now I'm only left with the columns that I do care about in that SharePoint list. Okay, so when everything looks good, I can go ahead and click on the left-hand side at the top, close and load. So this will make a new tab at the bottom. So my SharePoint list is called employee list. So I made a tab called employee list. And now I can see all of the data that is in my SharePoint list, which is great. This is what we wanted. I will actually show you that this does work and refresh. So let me navigate to my SharePoint list. So let me scroll down, and on the last record, we have MP25. Let me go ahead and change this to MPA 30 and then close that out. So that change did go into effect. Now let me navigate back to the Excel. And there's two ways of refreshing your data, and I'll show you how to auto refresh your data after this. But you'll now, once you click inside this table, you'll have a query tab at the top, and in the left-hand side, you have this refresh thing. So you can refresh it like that, or if you just click in the table, you also have a refresh option here. So I will go ahead and click at the top, refresh, and this record, MPA 25, should change to MPA 30. Okay, so there we go. It refreshed. The data was updated. And I can also add new columns here. So let's say I want to have like a notes column here. And I'll go ahead and just say Sammy likes baseball because that is Sammy's favorite sport. So when I do refresh this again in the query tab at the top, my column stays there. And if I want to make oh, it looks like my date columns went back to general. So I'll just change those to short dates. Let's say I want to make a formula here. So let me just add a formula. And I'll just do a simple if statement. So if this first name column equals Sarah, I'll say true, else false. So when I do update this, let's say I make a change here in my Excel sheet, I make a couple changes. And when I go to refresh, you can see that my formula column stays there in between all the other columns. And then those columns that were changed in my Excel but not the SharePoint get reverted back to whatever's in the SharePoint. So that's pretty helpful if you want to make a few different X lookups, or if you have a few different data sources that you bring in and you want to do like different formulas in your tables and everything. It will stay there, and then you can do whatever formulas you want. Once I click in the table as well, I'll show you some of the properties that we can assign to this query. So in the top left-hand side, if you click on properties, you can see that we have a couple query properties. You can see that we have a refresh control right here. Background refresh is auto enabled, so that will refresh in the background, but then we can also have refresh every X amount of minutes. So if I want to set this to 1 minute, this data set will refresh every minute. So that's pretty cool, and it will keep your data up to date. If you don't want something that quick, you can do like 30 minutes. That's a pretty good one. And then also down below, we also have this option, refresh data when opening the file. So if you don't want to worry about, clicking that refresh button every time you open a file, you can check that option. I think it's a great option to select, and I recommend it. So if I open my Excel file, let's say tomorrow, it'll give me a fresh data when I open the file. So I will show that now. And then there's also this other option, remove data from the external data range before saving the workbook. When I close out of this file, all these rows will go back to blank. And then when I open the file, the data, once that query runs, all those rows will be back populated again. So it kind of saves on space, a little security thing. So when you close the file, the data source data doesn't stay in the Excel file, but when you reopen it, the data source information will populate again. So I will go ahead and make a change in my SharePoint list, and then I will close the workbook, then I'll reopen the workbook just to show you that it does refresh. Okay, so I'll make a change on the MPA 30 again. So I'll change that back to 25, and we'll change Sammy's name to Sam. Okay, so I open the Excel workbook again. Now we see that we do have the security warning at the top. External data connections have been disabled. So if I enable this content, then my queries will run. And I'll just select do not ask me again for network files. So I'll click on yes, and then my data should refresh. Okay, I see my running background query is at the bottom, and then I see that row 22 was changed back to MPA 25 from 30, and Sammy's name is now Sammy. So that's what I recommend doing if you want to connect your Excel to your SharePoint list. It's pretty helpful if you have a lot of SharePoint lists and you just want to view all the information, or let management view the information easily without navigating back and forth between SharePoint lists. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned something. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And I will catch you guys in the next video.